Imagine this. You're a single mom, struggling to make ends meet, juggling two jobs and barely getting by. You're exhausted both physically and emotionally, and the weight of the world feels like it's crushing you. You've been saving for months just to afford a plane ticket to visit your family, hoping for a brief escape from the chaos of your life. You board the flight, find your seat, and as the plane takes off, you doze off almost immediately. But here's the twist: you wake up to find yourself leaning on the shoulder of a man who, unbeknownst to you, is a millionaire. Not just any millionaire, but someone whose life is about to collide with yours in the most unexpected, shocking way imaginable. What happens next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about fate, opportunity, and the power of human connection. If you've ever wondered how a single moment can change your life forever, this is the story for you. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll get the answers you've been searching for, answers that might just inspire you to see your own life in a whole new light. Now, let's talk about you for a second. Yes, you. The person watching this video right now. I know why you're here. You're here because you're curious. You're here because you've been through tough times, or maybe you're going through them right now. You're here because you felt that ache of uncertainty, that longing for something more, something better. You've wondered if life will ever cut you a break, if the universe will ever give you a sign that things are going to be okay. Well, today, I'm here to tell you that this story isn't just about a single mom and a millionaire. It's about you. It's about all of us. It's about those moments when life throws us a curveball and we're forced to decide whether to duck or swing for the fences. So, if you're ready to dive into a tale that will keep you on the edge of your seat, a story that will make you laugh, cry, and maybe even rethink your own journey, then keep watching. Because I promise you, this is one flight you won't want to miss. Let's set the scene. It's a crowded airport, buzzing with the usual chaos of travelers rushing to their gates, families saying tearful goodbyes, and business people glued to their phones. Amidst all this noise, there's Sarah, our single mom. She's in her early 30s, but the stress of life has added a few extra lines to her face. She's wearing a worn-out jacket, clutching a tattered carry-on bag, and trying to keep her composure as she navigates the airport with her 5-year-old daughter, Lily. Sarah's been through a lot: divorce, financial struggles, and the constant fear of not being enough for her child. But today, she's determined to make this trip work. She saved every penny she could, skipped meals, and even sold some of her belongings just to afford this flight. It's not just a trip, it's a lifeline. A chance to reconnect with her family, to breathe, to remember who she is beyond the struggles. As Sarah boards the plane, she's already exhausted. She finds her seat, settles Lily in, and within minutes of takeoff, she's dozing off. Her head tilts to the side and she ends up leaning on the shoulder of the man sitting next to her. That man is Ethan Carter, a self-made millionaire with a mysterious past and a reputation for being ruthless in business. Ethan is the kind of guy who's used to getting what he wants, when he wants it. He's handsome, confident, and always in control. But today, something's different. He's not on this flight for business. He's running away from something. Something big. And when he feels Sarah's head on his shoulder, instead of brushing her off, he does something unexpected. He lets her stay there. For the first time in a long time, Ethan feels a flicker of something he can't quite explain: compassion, curiosity, or maybe just the weight of his own loneliness. What happens next is where things get really interesting. When Sarah wakes up, she's mortified. She apologizes profusely, but Ethan brushes it off with a smile. They start talking, and something about their conversation feels different. It's not just small talk, it's real, raw, and honest. Sarah opens up about her struggles in a way she hasn't with anyone in years, and Ethan finds himself drawn to her resilience, her strength, her vulnerability. But here's the thing: Ethan has a secret. A big one. And as the flight progresses, that secret starts to unravel, pulling both of them into a web of lies, betrayal, and unexpected twists that neither of them saw coming. Why now? You're probably wondering, what is Ethan's secret? How does this chance encounter change Sarah's life? And what does it all mean for you, the person watching this video? Well, I'm not going to give it all away just yet. What I will say is this: life has a funny way of bringing people together when they least expect it. Sometimes it's in the most ordinary moments, like dozing off on a plane, that the most extraordinary things happen. And sometimes it's the people we least expect who end up changing our lives in ways we never could have imagined. So, if you're ready to find out what happens next, if you're ready to see how Sarah's story unfolds and how it might just inspire your own, then keep watching. Because this isn't just a story about a single mom and a millionaire. It's a story about hope, resilience, and the power of human connection. It's a story that will make you believe in second chances, in the possibility of something better, and in the idea that no matter how broken you feel, there's always a way to put the pieces back together. And who knows? By the end of this video, you might just find yourself looking at your own life in a whole new way. So, buckle up, because this is one journey you won't want to miss. The question is, are you ready to see what happens next? As the plane cruises through the clouds, Sarah and Ethan's conversation deepens, revealing layers of their lives that neither of them expected to share with a stranger. Sarah, still groggy from her nap, finds herself opening up in a way she hasn't in years. She talks about the sleepless nights, the endless bills, and the constant worry that she's failing her daughter. She shares how she's been working double shifts at a diner, barely making enough to cover rent, and how this trip is the first time she's allowed herself to dream of something more. Ethan listens intently, his usual guarded demeanor softening with every word she says. He's used to people trying to impress him, to win his favor, but Sarah's honesty is a breath of fresh air. For the first time in a long time, he feels seen not as the millionaire with the flashy lifestyle, but as a person. And that scares him more than he'd like to admit. But Ethan's life is far from simple. Behind his polished exterior lies a web of secrets that even he struggles to untangle. He's not just running away from his business empire, he's running from a scandal that could destroy everything he's built. A few weeks ago, a whistleblower from his company leaked documents to the press, exposing unethical practices that could land him in legal trouble. The media has been relentless, painting him as the villain, and Ethan's been trying to stay one step ahead of the fallout. This flight was supposed to be his escape, a chance to clear his head and figure out his next move. But now, sitting next to Sarah, he feels a strange sense of calm, a feeling he hasn't experienced in years. It's as if her presence is grounding him, reminding him of the person he used to be before the money, the power, and the lies. Meanwhile, Sarah's daughter, Lily, is quietly drawing in her coloring book, oblivious to the tension between the adults. But even she senses that something is different about this flight. She keeps glancing at Ethan, her curious eyes taking in his expensive watch and polished shoes. At one point, she leans over and asks him if he's a prince. Ethan chuckles, but the question hits him harder than he lets on. He used to dream of being a hero, of making a difference in the world. But somewhere along the way, he lost sight of that dream. Now, sitting next to this little girl and her mother, he can't help but wonder if this is his chance to start over, to be the person he always wanted to be. As the flight progresses, the connection between Sarah and Ethan grows stronger. But so does the tension. Sarah starts to notice little things about Ethan that don't add up. The way he tenses up whenever someone walks past their row, the way he keeps checking his phone even though there's no signal. She can tell he's hiding something, but she's not sure if she should push him or let it go. After all, she's just a broke single mom, and he's a millionaire. What could they possibly have in common? But then Ethan does something that throws her off guard. He offers to help her. Not in a patronizing way, but in a way that feels genuine. He tells her about a job opening at one of his companies, a position that could change her life. Sarah is torn. On one hand, this could be the break she's been praying for. On the other hand, she can't shake the feeling that there's more to Ethan's offer than meets the eye. Unbeknownst to both of them, there's another layer to this story, one that involves a mysterious woman named Claire. Claire is Ethan's ex-fiancée, and she's been watching him from afar, waiting for the right moment to strike. She knows about the scandal and she's been using it to her advantage, blackmailing Ethan into giving her what she wants. But when she finds out about Sarah, something inside her snaps. Claire has always been jealous, possessive, and willing to do whatever it takes to get her way. And now, she sees Sarah as a threat to her plans, her revenge, and her twisted sense of justice. As the plane descends, Claire is already making her move, setting the stage for a confrontation that could change everything. By the time the plane lands, Sarah and Ethan are both at a crossroads. Sarah has to decide whether to trust Ethan and take the job, knowing that it could come with strings attached. Ethan, on the other hand, has to decide whether to come clean about his past and risk losing the one person who's made him feel human again. And then there's Claire, lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce. The tension is palpable, the stakes are high, and the choices they make in the next few hours could alter their lives forever. But for now, all they can do is step off the plane and into the unknown, not knowing what or who awaits them on the other side. The question is, will they face it together, or will the secrets they're hiding tear them apart? The answer lies just beyond the horizon. But one thing is certain, this is only the beginning. As Sarah and Ethan step off the plane, the weight of their unspoken secrets hangs heavy in the air between them. Sarah clutches Lily's hand tightly, her mind racing with questions about Ethan's offer and the strange undercurrents she sensed during their conversation. She knows she should be grateful for the opportunity he's presenting, but something about the way he hesitated when she asked about the job's details makes her uneasy. Still, the thought of finally being able to provide for Lily without constantly looking over her shoulder is too tempting to ignore. She decides to give it a chance, telling herself that she's strong enough to handle whatever comes her way. But as they walk through the bustling airport, she can't shake the feeling that she's stepping into something far bigger and far more dangerous than she realizes. Ethan, on the other hand, is battling his own demons. The moment they land, his phone buzzes with a flood of messages, angry texts from his lawyers, frantic calls from his PR team, and a chilling voicemail from Claire. Her voice is calm but laced with venom as she warns him not to forget their agreement. Ethan's jaw tightens as he listens, his mind racing to figure out how much Claire knows about Sarah and whether she's already making her move. He knows Claire is capable of anything, and the thought of her targeting Sarah and Lily sends a cold wave of dread through him. For the first time in years, Ethan feels truly vulnerable. He spent his life building walls to protect himself, but now those walls are crumbling, and he's not sure how to rebuild them or if he even wants to. As they reach the baggage claim, Ethan offers to give Sarah and Lily a ride to their hotel. Sarah hesitates, but Lily's excitement at the idea of riding in a fancy car convinces her to say yes. The drive is quiet, the tension between them growing with every mile. Ethan keeps glancing at Sarah, trying to find the right words to explain himself, but every time he opens his mouth, he stops himself. How can he tell her the truth without pushing her away? And how can he protect her from Claire without revealing too much? Meanwhile, Sarah is lost in her own thoughts, wondering if she's making a mistake by trusting him. She looks out the window, the city lights blurring as they pass, and wonders if this is just another dead end in a life full of them. But just as they pull up to the hotel, the unexpected happens. A sleek black car pulls up beside them, and out steps Claire. She's every bit as polished and intimidating as Sarah imagined, her sharp eyes scanning the scene with a calculating gaze. Claire doesn't say a word to Ethan. Instead, she walks straight up to Sarah and introduces herself with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "You must be Sarah," she says, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "I've heard so much about you." Sarah freezes, unsure how to respond. But before she can say anything, Claire turns to Ethan and delivers a bombshell. "We need to talk. Now." The look on Ethan's face is enough to tell Sarah that something is very, very wrong. As Claire and Ethan step aside to talk, Sarah is left standing on the sidewalk with Lily, her mind spinning. She can't hear what they're saying, but the tension between them is palpable. Claire's gestures are sharp and aggressive, while Ethan's responses are calm but strained. Sarah feels a surge of protectiveness over Lily, and she instinctively pulls her daughter closer. Whatever is happening between Ethan and Claire, She wants no part of it. But as she turns to leave, Claire calls out to her. Sarah, wait! There's something you need to know. The words stop Sarah in her tracks, and she turns back, her heart pounding. Claire's smile is gone now, replaced by a cold, hard stare. Ethan isn't who you think he is, she says. And if you're smart, you'll walk away before it's too late. The words hang in the air like a storm cloud, heavy and ominous. Sarah looks at Ethan, searching his face for answers, but he's silent, his expression unreadable. She feels like she's standing on the edge of a cliff, unsure whether to step back or jump. Lily tugs at her hand, sensing her mother's distress, and Sarah knows she has to make a decision for both of them. But before she can say anything, Ethan finally speaks. Sarah, I can explain, he says, his voice low and urgent. But not here. Not like this. Claire smirks, clearly enjoying the chaos she's created, and walks away, leaving Sarah and Ethan standing in the middle of the sidewalk, the weight of her words lingering between them. As the night deepens, the stakes grow higher. Sarah is torn between her instinct to protect Lily and her curiosity about Ethan's secrets. Ethan, meanwhile, is racing against time to figure out how to keep Claire at bay while also earning Sarah's trust. And Claire? She's just getting started. Unbeknownst to both of them, she's already set a plan in motion, one that could destroy everything Ethan has worked for and pull Sarah and Lily into a world they never asked to be a part of. The tension is building. The pieces are falling into place, and the choices they make in the next few hours will determine not just their futures, but the futures of everyone around them. The question is, will they be able to see the truth before it's too late? Or will the secrets they're hiding tear them apart? The answer is closer than they think, but the cost of finding it might be more than any of them are willing to pay. As Claire's words echo in the night air, Sarah feels the ground beneath her shift. She looks at Ethan, searching for answers in his eyes, but his expression is a mix of guilt and desperation. Lily, sensing the tension, clings to her mother's leg, her small voice breaking the silence. Mommy, what's wrong? Sarah kneels down, forcing a smile as she reassures her daughter, but her mind is racing. She knows she can't just walk away, not without understanding what's really going on. Taking a deep breath, she turns to Ethan and says, "You have one chance to explain. And it better be good." Ethan nods, his shoulders heavy with the weight of his secrets. He leads Sarah and Lily to a quiet corner of the hotel lobby, away from prying eyes, and begins to unravel the truth. He tells her about the scandal brewing in his company, the whistleblower who exposed unethical practices, and the media frenzy that's been chasing him for weeks. He admits that he's been running not just from the press, but from himself. "I've spent years building this empire," he says, his voice trembling. "But somewhere along the way, I lost sight of what really matters. Meeting you, it made me realize that I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to do better. For you, for Lily, for everyone." Sarah listens in silence, her emotions swirling between anger, disbelief, and a strange sense of empathy. She wants to trust him, but Claire's warning still lingers in her mind. "What about her?" she asks, nodding toward the door where Claire had disappeared. Ethan's face darkens. "Claire and I have history," he admits. "She was my fiancée, but things ended badly. She's been using the scandal to blackmail me, trying to force me back into her life. But I swear, Sarah, I'm done with her games. I just need to figure out how to stop her before she hurts anyone else." Before Sarah can respond, her phone buzzes with a notification. It's a news alert, and the headline makes her blood run cold. Millionaire CEO Ethan Carter accused of fraud, whistleblower reveals shocking details. The article is accompanied by a photo of Ethan, his face stern and unyielding, and a video clip of Claire giving an interview. Sarah's hands tremble as she watches Claire paint Ethan as a villain, her words dripping with venom. But then, something unexpected happens. Claire slips up. In her eagerness to destroy Ethan, she reveals a detail that doesn't add up, a detail that suggests she might be the one behind the scandal all along. Sarah looks up at Ethan, her mind racing. "Did you hear that?" she asks, replaying the clip. Ethan's eyes widen as he realizes what she's pointing out. "She's lying," he says, a spark of hope igniting in his voice. "If we can prove she fabricated the evidence, we can clear my name." But time is running out. The media is already circling, and Claire's next move could destroy everything. Sarah knows she has a choice to make: walk away and protect herself and Lily, or stand by Ethan and help him fight back. For the first time in years, she feels a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this is her chance to be part of something bigger, to make a difference not just for herself, but for someone else too. With a determined nod, Sarah makes her decision. "We'll do this together," she says, her voice steady. Ethan looks at her, his eyes filled with gratitude and something deeper, something that feels like the beginning of a connection neither of them saw coming. They quickly form a plan, using Sarah's sharp instincts and Ethan's resources to uncover the truth. Together, they dig through files, track down witnesses, and piece together the evidence that will expose Claire's lies. It's a race against time, with every passing moment bringing them closer to either redemption or ruin. The climax comes during a live press conference, where Claire is set to deliver another damning statement about Ethan. But just as she takes the stage, Ethan and Sarah step forward, holding the evidence that will change everything. The room falls silent as Ethan speaks, his voice strong and unwavering. He reveals the truth about Claire's manipulation, her role in the scandal, and her attempts to destroy his life. The crowd erupts in shock, and Claire's mask of confidence crumbles as she realizes she's been outplayed. The media turns on her, and within hours, the narrative shifts. Ethan is cleared of all charges, and Claire is left to face the consequences of her actions. As the dust settles, Sarah and Ethan find themselves standing on the edge of a new beginning. The chaos of the past few days has brought them closer in ways neither of them expected, and they both know that their lives will never be the same. Ethan offers Sarah the job again, but this time, it's not out of pity or obligation. It's because he truly believes in her. Sarah accepts, not just for the opportunity, but because she's finally ready to believe in herself. Lily, sensing the change in her mother, beams with pride, her innocent faith a reminder of the good that still exists in the world. But just when it seems like the story has reached its happy ending, there's one final twist. As Sarah and Ethan are leaving the press conference, a stranger approaches them, a woman who introduces herself as the whistleblower. She apologizes for the chaos she caused, but explains that she had no choice. She reveals that Claire had been manipulating her too, threatening to destroy her life if she didn't cooperate. The woman's confession adds another layer of complexity to the story, reminding everyone that the truth is rarely black and white. Ethan forgives her, recognizing that they were all pawns in Claire's game, and together they vow to move forward with honesty and integrity. The story ends with Sarah, Ethan, and Lily walking into the sunset, their futures uncertain but filled with hope. They've been through hell and back, but they've come out stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever. As the screen fades to black, a final message appears. Sometimes, the most unexpected moments can change your life forever. Never underestimate the power of human connection. The audience is left in awe, reflecting on the twists and turns of the story and the lessons it holds. It's a tale of resilience, redemption, and the enduring power of hope, a story that will stay with them long after the video ends.